guys, and welcome back to Simply Forex, the channel dedicated to you, the trader. We want you to be successful in the markets. So guys, I'm going to give you some gold every day. I'm going to let you know which currency pairs I'm looking to trade and which direction. And I'm also going to let you know which news that you must be aware of. So let's take a look at the chart and what I'm potentially going to trade today.
Good morning, guys. Welcome to our live stream. How are you? I hope you're well. Hope you're having a good trading week. Yeah, guys, so just a few things to point out. If you want to come on, I'm going to do my daily analysis as normal. Yeah, look back at yesterday's trades, look at today's potential trades, and a couple of other interesting things in the market. But if you want to come on and join us after that, then you'll see in the comments below, there's a link. So if you just tap on that link and then you can come join us face to face, get my teeth in face to face and have a conversation with me on the live stream, guys. All right. So if you want to do that, the link is below the comments. But other than that, guys, yeah, please leave your questions in the comments as well. And like I say, I will go through as many as I can of them. All right. I'm looking at a different screen. That is where the questions are on. Right, excuse me. So yeah, today, guys, is Wednesday the 7th of September. You probably knew this. But first of all, we're going to look back at yesterday's trade, guys. All right, and there was only one trade from yesterday, okay, and it was this. It was the US dollar against the Swiss franc, okay. So we were looking to short this pair. If we start with the weekly chart, remember, guys, I do a top-down approach. So I look at the weekly, the daily, the H4, the H1, yeah, to give me my informed trade ideas. So what I was seeing on the weekly chart, guys, is a clear downtrend, yeah? We've got lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, and then prices come back up and tested these, well, is testing these last highs, okay? So it'll be interesting to see what price does here and if it comes back down, okay? So the weekly chart tells us that this trade makes sense. And then if we go down to the daily chart, yeah, so US dollar, Swiss franc, this is the day chart. And yeah, this is a little bit unusual for me because for me, guys, it was in a downtrend, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. But then when this high here was broken, yeah, we then had higher highs. So technically we were in an uptrend, okay? But once prices come back up and tested these highs, that's the weekly high that I just showed you, yeah? But we still have lower lows, okay? So for these reasons, and we had, yeah, two bearish candles form at this level here. So for all these reasons, I was still willing to take shorts from this level just down to this psychological level of 9,700. Okay, this psychological level here. Okay, so it's quite a conservative target because of the day chart structure, but the weekly structure is still intact, guys, yeah? And it could potentially come down, back down to here. But just for yesterday, we wanted to take it back down to the blue line. Okay, if we zoom in, guys, as you can see, that's not quite what happened. And we've had a green candle form, but we have had this rejection here of the top of the wick. Okay, so yeah, as long as these highs aren't broken, this trade is still intact, all right? However, I don't like the bullishness of this green candle. But let's look at the H1 now, guys, to see what actually happened. And I'm going to tell you how I traded this pair, guys. So I've done a tutorial on this, okay? And it's trading, instead of using a stop, we can use a buy or sell order. Okay, so this is a little advanced, guys, but let's just go through it methodically. So my trade idea, guys, if you remember, was this. We had our two gray zones mapped out. And what I wanted to see was a break of this gray zone, price come back up, retest it, and then we take price lower. Okay, that was the first trade idea. Or price comes up into this grey zone, we get a bearish candlestick pattern form, and then we come lower from there. Okay, so as you can see, guys, the first happened. So price broke, come back up, we got this bearish candle that formed, this red candle here. Yeah, so this told me, I thought this was a perfect candle to enter on. Yeah, so it's a clear bearish engulfing candle, huge rejection wick. So the idea was to, yeah, just trade this down to this last low here. Okay. All right. So what happened, guys, was this. This was the entry candle. I got a slight retrace. I entered here. Okay. And instead of putting a stop, guys, this is what I usually do if I have two potential grey zones to trade from. So here, I would normally put my stop. Okay, give it a little bit of room, maybe 10 ticks above the entry candle. Excuse me. But instead of a stop, guys, I placed a buy order. Okay, so I'm going to call this B1. Okay, this is my entry. This is sell 1. Okay, not easy to draw with this mouse, but I've managed it. Let me get a quick drink of water. So guys, I'm in a short, yeah, I entered here, and then price came up. Instead of stopping me out, I entered this buy, this B1. So I'm now in a buy order and a sell order. So I am negative, yeah, I'm in a losing trade for this amount between the buy and the sell. Okay, so I'm in the losing trade, but I'm not stopped out. And then price come up, and then again, guys, I saw this candle form. Yeah, so it's come up into our grey zone. All right, and then we've got another bearish candlestick pattern. I know it's a green candle, but the wick just tells me sellers are pushing this down and taking control. Okay, so when that happens, guys, I close my B1 here. So where I would normally enter my B1, yeah, from before, I now close. Okay, I close this and I've made this profit. Okay, but I am still in the sell order. Okay, sometimes I will end, well, I will do, and that's what I did yesterday. So here, at the close of that candle, I entered a sell 2. All right, so I've closed my buy order, which was my stop, made profit. I'm now in 2 sell orders. Okay, and my stop here was 10 ticks above the entry candle. But this is another buy order, not a stop. This will be buy 2. Okay, so yeah, it'll be interesting to see what price does now, guys. So if price carries on up, yeah, I will be in another buy order. Yeah, I will be in this buy order. Okay, I remember speaking to Perseverance about this last week. Okay, I will be in another buy order, and that's fine. I'll leave the trade. Okay, but if price starts coming back down, let's say it comes back down to here, yeah, my second sell order is then in profit for this amount. Yeah, and then my first sell order, if we get back down to here, is basically break even, and we could let that carry on. Okay, so it's a little bit complex, guys, but I just wanted to show you this is how you can trade without a stop order. Okay, so I hope that made sense, guys. It is a little bit advanced, but I'm just using buy and sell orders instead of stop orders. Okay, so yeah, so basically I entered a sell on this candle, I entered a sell on this candle, and I took some profit on the way up. Okay, and now we will see what it does today. Okay, So yeah, so I'm still in this trade, guys. I've taken a little bit of profit on the upside, and we'll see what this does today. But as long as these highs here aren't taken out, then the trade is still intact. Okay. So that was the trade from yesterday, guys. Yeah, let me know how you traded it. Leave a comment, guys. Let me know how you traded it. But yeah, we'll see what happens today with this pair. But if you just entered here, put your stop here, no problem, you got stopped out. Okay. But if you entered here, yeah, you put your stop about 10 ticks above the entry candle, you'll still be in this pair. Okay, guys. So yeah, that was US dollar Swiss franc, and that was the only trade from yesterday, guys. Yeah, and guys, if you're new to the channel and you're enjoying the analysis, then please subscribe to the channel and also smash that like button, guys. Much appreciated. Now, guys, we're going to look at some of the trades for today, for Wednesday, the 7th of September. And the first one is this, guys. This is the Aussie dollar against the Canadian dollar. Okay. And what I'm seeing, guys, is another head and shoulders. I've been seeing these everywhere. Yeah. So as you can see, guys, price was in an uptrend. So we had higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. Yeah, it didn't create a lower low, came back up, and now it's broke down. So these last lows have been broken with this candle here. Okay, so remember, guys, this is a head and shoulders pattern. This here is the shoulder, this is the head. I told you, guys, I'm seeing them everywhere. Yeah, I even use Head and Shoulders as my shampoo. Okay, so yeah, you've got Aussie dollar CAD. So I'm seeing a Head and Shoulders pattern, all right? And we've got this candle here that has broken all of these lows. This low, all right? So for me, guys, yeah, price is just going to continue downwards, okay? So that's the idea. Let's just zoom in a little bit. Yeah, so just one more time, shoulder, head, shoulder, and then price, whatever this distance is, guys, price should come down the same distance. Okay, so potentially back down to these lows. Okay, so we're looking to short this pair. While we're on the daily chart, guys, let's look at our target. So I'll go to the weekly chart for this as well. So, yeah, what I would look for, guys, is this. I would look for this psychological level, okay, at 800. Okay, so this will be my target. This makes sense on the weekly chart, and therefore it will make sense on the day chart. So this is the day chart, guys. Okay, so we always look at the day chart, guys. We need to ask ourselves, why are we long in this pair? Why are we shorting this pair? Or why are we staying out? They're the only three questions you should ever ask yourself when you look at the day chart. Okay, and for the reasons I explained, we are shorting this pair. And our target is this blue line here, guys. All right, so that's the why we're shorting it and our target. Now we're going to drop down to the H1, guys, to start plotting our gray zones. Okay, so a little bit messy, guys, because we had this gap down. All right. Yeah, it's not that clear, but this would be an area here. Okay. So this would be my first grey zone, guys, which takes into account all of these lows. This gap down makes this grey zone a little big, but takes into account all of these. We could also, slightly more aggressive, but this is technically the last H1 high. Yeah, we could also see a strong reaction just from this zone here, guys, all right? So if we zoom in, yeah, as you can see, guys, this is the last H1 highs, yeah? Keeps finding resistance here, okay? So we've got a couple of grey zones now, guys, in place. Yeah. So first of all, guys, price could retrace all the way back up to this grey zone. Okay. which also corresponds with this psychological level of 8,900. If it does, great, we get value for money. Yeah, the more it retraces, the better our value for money. Okay, so price comes back up. We see a bearish candlestick pattern form, or a candle that tells us sellers are in control. We enter the chart. We take price. First of all, I would take price back down to this last grey zone, close 80%, and then leave 20% to run. Okay, down to our higher time frame target. If that doesn't happen, guys, yeah, then price could just retrace to this grey zone. Yeah, it's just coinciding with these last H1 highs. I would wait until the London opens for me, guys. So yeah, in about an hour and a quarter, I would wait for the London open. But again, I want to see a bearish candlestick pattern happen here. We probably can't close price at the last H1 lows because we won't get a risk to reward of 1:1. So I'll let 100% run, okay? Close when it gets to a risk to reward of 1:1, and then leave 20% to run down to our higher time frame target. Okay, guys, so yeah, Aussie dollar, Canadian dollar, we're looking to short this pair. Okay, and that's the first trade idea. Okay, the second the second trade idea for today is this. Yeah, this is the pound against the Aussie dollar. Before I start this one, guys, yeah, again, if you've got any questions you would like to ask, I'm seeing a few questions now, guys, and I will look at a few of these questions shortly. And also, if you want to come on and join me face to face, then remember the link is in the comments below the vid. Okay, so yeah, come and join me. Don't be scared. I don't bite. All right, guys. So our second trade idea for Wednesday, the 7th of September, is this. This is the pound against the Aussie dollar. Okay, and what I'm seeing here, guys, is a break of trend. Okay, so price was clearly in a downtrend. This is the day chart, by the way. Lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, and we had this zone here. Okay, so what was once support became resistance. Okay, so let's zoom in and take a look at this. Yeah, so as you can see, price has been, yeah, like I say, what was once support, when it breaks, becomes resistance, and it's been resistance and ranging. Price hasn't known what to do with itself. But for me, this area here, yeah, is the last highs. Okay, so when we see this bullish green candle break out of this choppy zone, yeah, when we see price break out of these highs, then we are then in an uptrend. Okay, so that's my reason for longing it. I then need to look for, do we have enough room to move into? Okay, so we're looking to buy this pair for those reasons. And then if I zoom back out, guys, as you can see, yeah, this area here. Okay, so you had price reacting here, here, even here. That's close enough. So this blue line shows me that I have enough room to move into. Okay, so this will also be our target. Okay, because it's the next piece of resistance that this pair may face. Okay, so yeah, we're looking to buy this pair up to this blue line. Okay, so guys, if we look at the H1 now to see where we can enter this pair, all right, and again, we've got a couple of places, all right, so yeah, first of all, this grey zone here, guys, all right, so we've got this grey zone here. Okay, so this makes sense to me, guys. It corresponds with all these last H1 highs here. Okay, so price could come back and hit this grey zone. Because that daily candle is very bullish, guys, yeah, I'm going to put in another grey zone, similar to the Aussie dollar, Canadian dollar, but even down to here, guys, yeah. So let me take into account this last low here. It's a little bit scruffy, the chart, guys, but yeah, these are going to be my two grey zones. So this lower grey zone here corresponds with these highs, and then we've got this grey zone here, which corresponds with these lows here, and even these lows here. Okay, so we've got the two grey zones, guys. They are quite close together. So yeah, what we want to see, remember we're trying to buy this market. So if price comes all the way down to here, great. Again, we get value for money. Yeah, we get in at a cheaper price. So price comes back down to this grey zone. We see a bullish candlestick pattern form. Yeah, we enter the trade. And then we can take price back up to these last H1 highs here, close 80% of the trade, and then leave 20% to run. Okay. If that doesn't happen, guys, then price could come down to this grey zone. Okay. Where we see, then we want to see a bullish candlestick pattern form. Again, we get in, we take price up to the last H1 high. This is always our first target. Close 80% of the trade and then leave 20% to run. Okay, guys, so yeah, they're the two trade ideas for today. So Aussie dollar, Canadian dollar short, and pound Aussie dollar long. Okay, guys, so yeah. Right, we're going to look, actually, before we do, I just wanted to show you this as well, guys. So remember, I was showing you the Aussie dollar, US dollar. Okay, I'm just looking at some of the questions, guys. Okay, so Aussie dollar, US dollar. I just wanted to show you a successful head and shoulders pattern. My regular viewers will know that I was looking at this pair for some time, okay? And again, this is a perfectly executed head and shoulders pattern. So we've got the shoulder, the head, the shoulder, and then price came down to my blue line. The blue line was my target. I haven't moved this target, guys. That's been my target for days. But again, shoulder, head, and shoulder. Okay, and then whatever this is, price should come down again. And it did. We had a very successful trade on this, guys. So I just wanted to show you a successful head and shoulders, as that's what we're seeing on the Aussie dollar, Canadian dollar. Okay. Right, guys, let me have a quick drink. Right, question time. Let's have a look, guys. So, okay, so JL Lee. Yeah, so my method, guys, is I look at 28 currency pairs. Yeah, as you can see, I've got all these here. I trade all of these currency pairs. I also look at, you know, the S&P, the dollar, oil, gold, but I don't trade them. I look at 28 currency pairs every morning, guys. Yeah, I do this so you don't have to. I look at 28 currency pairs and then I narrow it down to 1, 2, 3, 4 trades, no trades, but between 0 and 4 trade ideas a day. I don't look at all 28 currency pairs at one time. Yeah, I narrow it down to 4 pairs that have potential. Okay, so for today, for example, I'm only looking at Aussie dollar, Canadian dollar, and GBP Aussie dollar. Okay, for the reasons I explained, I'm only looking at these 2 pairs. I will not look at any other currency pair for the rest of the day. These are the 2 pairs that I've singled out. And this is what I give you every single morning at Simply Forex. So I will only trade them. Aussie dollar, Canadian dollar, pound Aussie dollar. But I have looked at all 28 currency pairs this morning, but just narrowed it down to these 2. Okay. Naughty pack, no vodka today. This is gin, just gin today. Yeah, neat gin. Very bad for your kidneys. Okay, so bless James, do I use price action and fundamental analysis? So I'm purely a technical trader, yeah, purely a price action trader. But of course, I know when the news is coming out. So you know, every day, guys, where I give you the news, I'm like at 9 o'clock London GMT, we have GDP coming out of the euro. We've got non-farm payrolls at 4 o'clock. So I'm fully aware of when the news is coming out. So if I'm in a trade, I might close it for a small amount of profit, or I might, for example, if I'm trading US dollar, Japanese yen, yeah, and I know non-farm payrolls is coming out, yeah, I will close for a small profit because no one knows what the news release is going to be. Don't believe anyone that tells you who does. The news comes out and then price reacts. Yeah, it's as simple as that. Nobody knows what that data release will be. So I either close for a small profit because it's just gambling if I don't know, or I move my stop loss. Yeah, I really tighten my stop loss. And if I get stopped out, that's fine. But it has the potential to have very big gains. So I'm aware of the fundamentals, the macroeconomic view. I understand economics. I understand interest rates. I understand the problem with inflation at the moment. I understand all of that, but market just reacts to the news data. It's not something you can plan for. So I'm aware of macroeconomic, but only trade the technicals, guys. Okay, I'm a technical trader. Okay, so Perseverance wants to know about the euro US dollar. So with a lot of these dollar pairs, guys, they're just a bit untradeable for me. Okay, apart from the US dollar Swiss franc. But yeah, if we look at the euro US dollar, so this is the day chart, guys. And yeah, as you can see, this zone here, price just has no idea what it wants to do with itself. Yeah. So the powers to be, the banks, the big boys, they're thinking, do we want to take this shorter or do we want to start moving up from here? And the answer is they don't know. Yeah. There's a lot of indecision here. Okay. All of these candles just show me complete indecision. What I would need to see, guys, for me to start trading this pair is a break lower out of this zone. Then we could potentially start looking for shorts. But again, the US dollar, most of the US dollar pairs are so overbought or oversold. So yeah, so I would wait for a break lower. Yeah, then potentially I could get on this trade, but I don't like the idea of shorts on this pair. I just don't. What I would like to see for me to start getting in this pair is a break of this. Yeah, so this here, yeah, no surprise, we see this pattern again. What was once support is now resistance. I want to see a break out of this zone. Okay, then I will start looking to take longs up to here potentially. Okay, so for me, the only play with the euro are longs once it breaks out of this range here, because price just doesn't know what to do with itself. Remember, guys, the 3 questions you have to ask yourself: can I long this pair? Yeah. Would you long that? No. Can I short this pair? No. Yeah. All of these wicks here are trying to push up. Yeah. Would I short this pair? No. So therefore, I stay out of this pair. So for me, guys, I would just stay out of the euro US dollar. Okay. Next question. Okay, so Sorala, yeah, sorry, I hadn't forgotten your question. So yesterday, yeah, we had quite a push up on this is the Swiss franc against the Japanese yen. And Sorala was asking, does this have anything to do with the dollar index? Okay. And the answer is no, not really. So let me explain why. So what you need to look at here, the answers are all in the pairs you're trading. So if we look at US dollar Swiss franc, the day chart, yeah, and then we'll also look at US dollar Japanese yen day chart. So this is the US dollar Japanese yen, okay? And as you can see, guys, there's no ceiling, yeah? If I zoom out, yeah, let's go back. Yeah, if I go back all of this time, there's no ceiling here. There's no ceiling for where price could react and come down. Okay, so US dollar yen, if I zoom back in, sorry guys, my computer has decided to stop working. It's probably had enough of my voice. So US dollar yen, there's no ceiling here, guys. There's no ceiling for it to react at. Okay, whereas the US dollar Swiss franc, we have a clear ceiling here. Yeah, even here could be the next one. Okay, so we have a clear ceiling, a place where price can react and potentially come down. All right, so for that reason, the Swiss franc is stuttering. It's not bursting through. It's not bursting through this level because it's a clear level of resistance. If anything, price may even come down from this level. Okay, if these lows aren't broken. Okay, so Swiss franc could potentially have a bit of strength here. Yeah, whereas we compare this with the US dollar yen, there's just no ceiling. Yeah, it's just going up and up and up. There's nothing stopping it. Yeah, there's no, yeah, this was potentially stopping it, but once this candle breaks this level, there's nothing to stop it. Okay, so that is why the Swiss franc is gathering strength and the yen is becoming weaker. Okay, hence this action. Yeah, hence Swiss franc getting stronger, yen getting weaker. This will happen. Yeah. Okay, guys. So the dollar index impacts both of them, US dollar Swiss franc and US dollar Japanese yen. So it's not that, it's the correlation between the two pairs. If you look at US dollar Swiss franc and US dollar yen, compare them, that will give you more information about the Swiss franc yen, which we're looking at now. All right, so I hope that answers that question, Sarala. So Bless James is saying, are we seeing a head and shoulders on oil? Let's have a look. Bless, maybe you have the same problem I have. You're seeing head and shoulders patterns everywhere. Yeah, it's sending me crazy. Okay, so let's look at oil, guys. Let's just bring this price down. Okay, I see what you're saying, Bless. So, yeah, we've got a shoulder. We've got a head. I just don't think we have much of a shoulder. Yeah, because the shoulder normally reaches the level of the last shoulder. Yeah, normally price comes up and comes back down. Okay, so for me, it's not quite a head and shoulders, Bless, although I can understand what you're seeing. But price does need to come back up as high as the last shoulder. Okay, but yeah, we've got shoulder, head. Yeah, we just need price to come up to this area for the shoulder. So I can see what you're saying, but not quite yet a head and shoulders pattern. Okay, but if the day chart stays broken, let's say this candle stays broken, then yeah, I would be looking for shorts. Okay, I don't think this candle is going to stay broken. I think it's going to close back up into this zone, but we shall see. I don't have a crystal ball. All right, guys. Next question. What is your daily average staying into trades? Yeah, so maximum, guys. So basically, Luca, one of our viewers that always joins our lives. Hello, Luca. I stay in a trade probably a maximum of 2 days. Yeah, maximum. And then I could also be in a trade for about an hour. Yeah, because remember, guys, the first target is always the last H1 low. So I can be in that for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. Okay. But the bit that I leave running, I leave 20% to run. yeah, then that's different. That is, I can leave that for a few days. Okay, so let's go back to the Aussie dollar, US dollar example. So this was the trade I took a few days ago. Okay, if we go to the H1, I remember, okay, so yeah, okay, yeah, so if you had entered up here, for example, where did I enter? Okay, all right, so let's say you entered here, okay? Let's say you entered here. My first target will be the last H1 low or the grey zone. So I would close 80% of the trade here. Yeah, that is very good drawing with this mouse pen. Must congratulate myself. That looks like 80. So 80% I would close here, and then I would leave 20% to run down to this blue line. And that takes longer. That takes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, you know, arguably 8 hours. Okay, but to get my initial first 80% usually takes 2 or 3 hours, 4 hours. Okay, but the bit that I leave run could be days. Okay, guys. Trading breakout retest. So you're talking about trading a breakout or a retest. Most of the time I usually set my ideas after a retest. So the best pattern, let's see if I can find an example. Bear with me 1 second, guys. Okay, so let's say, for example, I'm trading the US dollar Swiss franc long. Okay, so yeah, if it price breaks out of here, okay, yeah, then we have a breakout. We have a break of the high, not only on the H1, but also on the day chart. Yeah, so as you can see, yeah, these are the last H1 highs here. Okay, so let's say we traded a breakout of them, right? If I go down to the H1, I know this grey zone, yeah, this grey zone here, the higher grey zone, is the last daily highs. So if price breaks out of here, yeah, I want to see a closed candle above the last high. If you're trading the H1, it should be a H1 candle. Okay, then I want to see price come back into this grey zone. I want to see a retest. Then I want to see a bullish candlestick pattern form, or at least a candle that tells me buyers are in control. Okay, on that candle, I will enter, and then I'm happy to trade the breakout. Okay, I just won't enter on the break. I have to have a retest here. I have to have a retest, and then I can take price higher. Okay, so that's how I would trade a breakout. Any other questions? So guys, yeah, anyone would like to come on and join us on the channel? You can have a live chat with me one-to-one now if you like. The link has just been posted again on the comments below the video. So what we'll do, guys, I'll give you time to click on the link if you want to come and join us. But while we do, I'm going to take a look at the news for today, guys. All right, so let's take a look at the news now. I'm looking at another laptop for this, so please bear with me. So news for Wednesday, the 7th of September, guys. So as you can see, the first piece of news, important news, which happened overnight was this, yeah, this high red rating coming out of Australia. So this happened at 2:30 in the morning, London GMT. And that was the GDP, and that was better than expected. So I'm sure that gave some strength to the Aussie dollar, to any Australian pair. If we carry on down, guys, the first piece of news we're interested in today is this. At 10 o'clock, London GMT, we've got 2 pieces of data coming out, okay, both GDP, okay. So this could really move any euro pair, guys. Yeah, because all eyes are on GDP. That is basically the indicator to tell us if we're in a recession or not. So lots of people are looking at the GDP at the moment. If we carry on down, guys, at 1:30 London GMT, we've got the balance of trade coming out. Okay, so this could move any Canadian pair. And then if we carry on down, guys, the big news for today is this. This is the big daddy of news. So at 3 o'clock, coming out of Canada, we've got the interest rate decision. And every country in the world pretty much is raising their interest rates like crazy. Okay. So as you can see, they're going for a 75 base point rise. Yeah. Okay. So from 2.5 to 3.25. So this news, guys, can really, really move any Canadian dollar pair. So, guys, if you are in a Canadian dollar pair at this time, remember, you could close your trade if you're in a small amount of profit, or you could just really move your stop up. Yeah, tighten your stop. Okay, so it could limit any loss. But if you do that, guys, you also have to bear in mind slippage. When news comes out, the spread goes from this to this. Okay, so you must be aware of slippage in the spread when news comes out. Any other news? No, there is no other news, guys, to look at today. So yeah, that's the news for today. Noted pack. Do I ever use trend lines? Yes, I do. The majority of my zones are horizontal, but I do use trend lines. Let me think of a currency pair that I was looking at recently. So yeah, the Aussie dollar, US dollar. Okay, so yeah, I do. So for example, this. Yeah. This is an example of a diagonal channel that I was looking at on Aussie dollar, US dollar. So it's just using this diagonal grey line as resistance. But then once it broke out, once this candle broke, yeah, if you remember, well, a few weeks ago, I was looking for buys off of this candle. Yeah, I was looking for buys. Yeah, and we made some nice profit on this buy. Okay, so yeah, I do use diagonal channels, trend lines. The majority of my stuff is horizontal trend lines. But yeah, I do look at diagonal trend lines to just give me more informed decisions. Remember, guys, your job as a trader is to get as much confluence as you can. So when this trade happened, this was a beautiful setup. So not only had Aussie dollar, US dollar broken this channel, yeah, it broke out of this channel. It also broke this last high here, and we had a very bullish candle form. Yeah, this is a very good entry. Okay, and as you can see, price continued to push up and push up. Okay, so this here, we love this kind of entry. We've got the confluence that it's broken out of the diagonal channel. We've got the confluence that it's broken the last high. And we have the confluence of the bullish candle that formed. This bullish candle formed. Yeah, what is not to like about that trade? And then sure enough, price shot upwards. Okay, so yes, I do use trend lines. Proto. How long do you keep trades running? Do you prefer day trading or swing trading? Keep trade over days and more pips? Which one is better? Good question, Proto. So for me, I am an intraday trader. All right. So let's keep on this as an example. Okay. So this pair here, this Aussie dollar US dollar pair. Okay. So I am looking first of all so let's go down to the H1. So let's go back to my diagonal channel that we'll see in a minute. Okay. So guys, yeah, what you're looking at here is my that was a diagonal channel on the day chart. So I've taken my day view on the Aussie dollar, US dollar, okay? And we are looking to buy this, okay? Then what I do is drop down to the day chart and start looking for areas of, places I can trade, okay? So let's say I traded from here, okay, just to give you an idea. So we had a really good setup on the day chart. It broke our diagonal channel. We then had a bullish daily candle form, that large green candle. So then the next day, once that green candle was formed, I'm looking for longs. Okay, so let's say, just for argument's sake, all right, I'm just showing you, this was a zone. This pink square here was a zone. So what I want to see is price come down to this zone, and then I want to see a reaction. Okay, so let's say we saw this candle here. This green candle reacted at our zone. Okay, what I would do, guys, is just take price up to a risk to reward of 1:1. Put my stop here, yeah, and then take price up to here. So my first target is always a risk to reward of 1:1. Okay, there at this point, I will close 80%. I tell you why I do this, because it's the psychology of trading. I know my personality. I know what works for me. All right. So I've entered this trade on this large green candle. Remember, this is the H1 chart. My stop is here. Yeah. And my exit is here. Okay. So for that reason, I'm an intraday trader. Yeah. I've closed 80% of my trade. But then I let 20% run. And for 20%, I'm happy to let run up to our higher time frame target. Okay, so yeah, let's go back to the day chart. All right, this candle here. So if I was trading this candle, remember this is the day chart, this area here would be my first higher time frame target. Okay, that's this area here is going to be the next area where price could react. And sure enough, as you can see, it does. Okay, so this candle tells me I want to enter the market longs. Then I drop down to the H1, which I just showed you, and I close 80% of the trade. Let's say I closed 80% here. Okay, but then I let 20% run up to this blue line. So the answer to your question is yes, I am an intraday trader. I usually close 80% of the trade within the day. And I let 20% run, but my 20% is arguably a higher time for a swing trader. Yeah, I'm willing to let that 20% run. Okay, that works for me, guys. If I let 100% of the trade run, it doesn't work for me. My psychology kicks in, and I make bad decisions, basically. Whereas if I've closed 80%, yeah, I've already secured a nice amount of profit. I'm happy to let that 20% run. Yeah, so yeah, I hope that answers your question, Proto, but a good question. Okay, Emmanuel, welcome Emmanuel to the channel. And guys, just before I answer the next question, yeah, if you're new to the channel, then please subscribe to the channel and smash that notification button, guys. That way you'll receive an alert every day. And also smash the like button if you're enjoying my analysis. Let me have a quick drink of gin. Neat gin is not pleasant first thing in the morning. Right, Emmanuel, can you talk about the euro Canadian dollar and the pound Canadian dollar? Yes, I can. So let's take a look. So let's start with euro Canadian dollar. Where are we? Here. Let's also bring down pound Canadian dollar. Okay, so let me just tell you what I'm seeing. So euro Canadian dollar. All right, so Okay, so what I'm seeing here is it was in a downtrend, clearly, yeah? Clearly in a downtrend, then it sort of ranged, okay? But then we had lower lows, all right? So if you look at that, just at my pink line, we are clearly in a downtrend. The problem with taking shorts is we've had a very aggressive move upwards, okay? And then price reacted again, yeah, at these last highs here, price has reacted again. Okay, and I actually took shorts from this candle, okay, but my target was down to these lows here. Okay, all right, so let me explain why. So I was happy to take shorts when I saw this big bearish candle here form at these highs, and I took price back down, yeah, if I carry that zone on, I took price back down to this 1,300 level, this psychological level. I was a happy trader, but I'm not willing to take it any lower, okay, because of the weekly chart. And what I'm seeing here, guys, is the weekly chart. So it obviously found some support here, yeah, price reacted, and then this candle has closed back in to this zone as well. So something, yeah, in this area is pushing price back up. All right, because this wick here closed back into these lows here, I am reluctant to keep short in this pair. Okay, so for me, it's a pair to stay out of. All right, because the weekly, I believe we have a bit of support. It's finding support here, okay? And on the day chart, yeah, we had this very aggressive move upwards from this zone, okay? So it'll be interesting to see what price does at this zone here. This is the zone of interest for this pair. If we see a bullish candle form here, yeah, then I would take longs, okay, back up to these highs. All right, if price broke this zone, yeah, we don't have a lot of room to move into, but I would take price back down to these lows. To be quite honest, I don't like the idea of shorting or selling this market. All right, so I want to see a bullish candlestick pattern form, and then we can come higher. Okay, guys, that's Euro Canadian dollar. Let's take a look at pound Canadian dollar. So let's start with the weekly chart, guys. Okay, if we zoom out, yeah, what I'm seeing is a couple of things. All right, so we have this area here. It's a very large area, I understand that. If you look on the weekly chart, you've got these lows here, yeah, and you have this low here, all right? Okay, so that is an area of support, okay? But if you look at the weekly candle, yeah, Christ, all this zooming in is making my eyes funny. Yeah, but we look at the weekly candle, that was last week's candle, still very bullish. I still think we have room down to this 1,500 psychological level. Okay, if we look at the day chart, if anything, yeah, I would be looking for shorts. All right, we're clearly in a downtrend. We've got that bullish weekly candle, but we have to be aware that we are potentially selling into weekly support. Yeah, and you have had this candle react at that level. But for me, I still think we could take price lower, potentially down to this 1,500 level. Okay, but then I wouldn't like to short this any further. Okay, and obviously with the Canadian dollar, you have to be very aware of what oil is doing. And you've got the big interest rate decision today. So if you are in a Canadian dollar pair, you must be aware of that news today. All right, but Euro Canadian dollar, I would stay out. I wouldn't like to short that pair. If anything, I would buy it. But pound Canadian dollar, I still think that has a little bit of room to the downside, but not much. Okay. Next one. Can you talk about? Okay, so Albert. I love your name, Albert. I had an uncle called Albert. So pound against the US dollar and euro against the US dollar. So we've already looked at euro US dollar. And for me, it's just stay out of the market. Yeah, we've already looked at this one, guys. But for me, that is untradeable. Remember, guys, ask yourself, would you long that pair? Would you buy this pair? No, none of these candles tell you to buy this pair. Would you short this pair? Would you sell this pair? No, look at these wicks bouncing up back into these lows. So I wouldn't short it. I wouldn't long it. I would stay out. What I want to see is a break out of this zone, and then I would potentially look for longs. Yeah, I would take price back up to these highs. Okay, so that's euro US dollar. Now pound US dollar. Okay, let's find the pound. Okay, so this is the day chart, guys. All right, and for me, guys, it's weekly. It's the weekly chart we need to look at. Okay, as you can see, this weekly zone here, yeah, this here is an area of support. Look what happened last time it hit this, and this is 2020. This is like a 2-year low. All right, and then look at price reacted at that level. Okay, so for me, I cannot short into this. I cannot look for lows anymore into this area because of this weekly, what happened on this weekly chart, yeah, a couple of years ago. Okay, if we go back to the day chart, yeah, we've seen a little bit of reaction here. I wouldn't say this is a super bullish candle and we can start looking for longs. But again, guys, if I had to trade this pair, I would start looking for longs. I mean, I wouldn't because it's clearly in a downtrend. Yeah, it's clearly in a downtrend. But I would want to see a price in a breakdown in structure, a change in trend, and then I would start looking for longs with this pair. To short it, I cannot keep shorting into that weekly support, guys. Just cannot do it. Does not compute in my brain. Okay, thank you, Emmanuel. Yeah, top-down approach. Use the top-down approach. Go look at the weekly, look at the daily, look at the H4, and then your entry chart is the H1. Okay. Right, guys. I think we're going to wrap it up there. I think I've answered all of your questions. Yeah, guys, that's it. We're going to call it a day. So, yeah, thank you for joining us on the live stream today, guys. Really enjoyed all your questions. Some good questions in there. I hope they helped answer a lot of your queries. And just the idea is for you to better understand the market. So I hope we've achieved that today. Yeah, if you've enjoyed it, guys, please smash that like button. And if you're new to the channel, smash that subscribe button and smash the notification button. Come join us at Simply Forex. All right, guys, I hope you have a great trading day. And I'll see you tomorrow for my daily morning analysis. See you later, guys.